last video, we talked about how acupuncture can stimulate the brain center, which linked to the heart, lung, and the digestive system to reduce the stress and inflammation. And this particular topic is about electrical stimulation and inflammation in the colon. So colitis is very common nowadays because of the junk food and fructose, and the colitis has the symptoms of abdominal pain, diarrhea, because the chronic colon inflammation related with the mucosa, the lining of the colon, edema, and then erosion, and eventually it can perforate the colon and causing adhesion. So that influences the bowel movement. So they can end up either diarrhea or just very sluggish bowel movement because the colon movement is restricted. And now we are using acupuncture with electric stimulation to help regulate this colon movement, reduce the lining edema. And we have this new study published by Dr. Jin to compare vagal nerve stimulation and electric acupuncture on the point we mentioned, stomach 36, which below the knee, 3 inches below the knee, and 1 finger breadth lateral to the tibial bone. The stomach 36 and spleen 6, which we showed on the first video, it's 3 inches above this medial malleolus bone and behind the tibial bone. So when they stimulate these 2 points with electric current for 10 days, then they can measure the colon damage reduced 40%. Versus they stimulate the vagus nerve in the animals for 6 days. The reducing of the inflammation in the colon is 20%. And then they compare just 21 days vagal nerve stimulation and a combination of vagal nerve stimulation and electric acupuncture for 21 days. So that's like 3 weeks of treatment. Then they measured the swelling of the mucosa, the lining of the colon. It will reduce 79% in a combination, but 71% with the vagal nerve stimulation. And this explains why we need sufficient treatment, like twice a week for 3 weeks, or once a week for longer time, because you have to reach certain dosage, and then you can reduce the inflammation, the edema, the swelling, the erosion, and the next step, once the inflammation is gone, then the body needs to repair the lining. So that kicks in with a good sleep, good diet, that will help repair the lining. And the other thing, the mechanism here they explain is when they stimulate the acupuncture point or vagus nerve, they actually measured the chemicals called the cytokine, the small protein, for instance, like TNF-alpha, interleukin 6, that actually reduced. Those chemicals lead to chronic inflammation. So if you don't want to go to acupuncturist to have the electric acupuncture, you can press those 2 points, or you can use the patch, the 10th unit, to stimulate. If you do that every day, then you get a sufficient dosage. Even it's not as strong as electric acupuncture, but you still stimulate the points. So you change the vagal nerve activity, you strengthen your immune function. And actually this point, stomach 36 below the knee, we use that for people who is recovering from the chronic illness. They are so weak, they couldn't eat, they lose weight, and if you stimulate this point, in the old Chinese medicine, they say that it's like you're eating an egg to strengthen your body. So all the things point to a strong immune, a balanced immune function and a stronger digestive system. And then you can repair the inflammation in the colon or other places, tendons or nerves, much more efficiently. If you need more information, you can always go to BostonChineseAcupuncture.org to type in your keyword, and then the articles will explain.